Hey there, Virgo. We are going to do a reading for the rest of 2025, and each row is going to represent something different. I will tell you what that is at the top of each row. Your first row is going to represent what's being revealed to you at this time, and you have this focus and illumination card. So, like, literally, the universe is showing you what to focus on at this time with that illumination card. And so I would pay attention. This focus card, I'll show you close up in just a second, but there's like this snow leopard and it's snowing on this mountain. And I feel like that snow might be some like distraction energy here, Virgo, and like fluff that doesn't matter, right? And so I don't really feel it's like too much of a distraction for you, or it's anything really bad necessarily. But it's like sometimes I think when we, if we're like working on a big goal or a big project or something, we can let those little distractions kind of get in the way. And I feel like the focus card is saying that, for the most part, if you just like were to focus on what you're doing and what's in front of you, then I think things would be a lot smoother instead of like allowing these little distractions. This could also say it might be like a really good time to get disciplined just in general here. And you have this Capricorn card. It says it will not be an easy path, but if you build discipline, you will achieve your goals. So exactly basically what I was saying, like, it might be a good time to say, like, at the end of the year, I'm going to, avoid watching Netflix for, it doesn't mean you can't. It just says maybe you need to like dedicate like an hour every single day to a project, and you skip that 1 hour of Love is Blind or whatever the hell you people watch on Netflix, right? And, I think giving something that dedicated focus, even if it's just a short period of time with this card, would really help kind of clear up that noise, that snow on the card is creating. And, it might help you kind of like accomplish something faster. You have the best reading that I've done so far, by the way. You have very good cards here. Everybody else had, not that they were bad, just had some more challenging stuff showing up, so that's good. But also in the row of what's being revealed to you at this time, you have the Hierophant, the Six of Wands, and the Hermit. The Hierophant can be blessings, so there could be some, and you have the Ten of Cups, the Wheel of Fortune, the Six of Cups. These are all cards of blessings. So you could, something could be being revealed to you. I kind of feel like this is a blessing that you're going to be creating, though. It's not like a real blessing. To me, a real blessing is kind of like something that you just get, right? This feels more like something, like a blessing that you're creating for yourself in your life, and so that's a good thing. It's probably based off of like all the lessons you've learned over many years. The Hierophant can be a little bit of a hard ass. The Hierophant can be a teacher in the world, and it can be some lessons that we've learned over many years. So it's almost like you're getting the blessings of the lessons you've learned for many years. You have the Six of Wands, which is a card of a victory or a big success coming in for you. It's an amazing time to stand out. I have a feeling that pretty much everyone will probably get at least one card of getting attention or standing out, because that's the time that we're in. We need to make sure that we are, kind of communicating. I mean, we have like the perfect storm for getting attention for everyone. Pluto in Aquarius, Uranus in Gemini. Even though Uranus will retrograde into Taurus in November, it doesn't matter. Still, it's been in Gemini. Plus Saturn and Neptune next year in Aries. Saturn, especially in Aries, is about being loud, speaking up, getting attention. Now, as I always say, we want to make sure that we're getting positive attention, not negative attention. But, I think that anything you can do to stand out in any area of your life would be excellent for you here, Virgo, and will probably lead to a lot of success. You show up here, so, you could be revealing new parts of yourself to the world, which definitely is something that we have talked about many times in the year of 2025. He has this lantern with a star in it, and he is keeping his inner light hidden, but he needs to shine his inner light out all over the place. I definitely feel it is time for Virgo to shine their inner light. I think you've been working on a lot of like reinvention energy, like changing yourself, reinventing yourself, becoming stronger. All those things come up, and it's like time for you to share, the changes you've made with the world. And so, pretty simple first row there, Virgo. Let's see. With the Hierophant, you have the Lovers. You have the Lovers twice. You have the Six of Cups, King of Cups. Hierophant can be marriage. So if you're looking for love, like a lover could be being revealed to you, or you could already be with this person. Maybe you're realizing that you want to commit deeper to a person that you're with right now. And again, like I said, if you don't have a person, then definitely could be like love potential coming in for you. The Hierophant would say that this is a person who's on a similar path. Usually the Hierophant is like a parallel path. It's not a person that's exactly the same as you, but it's a person who maybe is going in the same direction. With the Six of Wands, you have the Wheel of Fortune. Apparently, you're going to get a bunch of repeating cards, which is good. Whenever we have a bunch of repeating cards, it's kind of like confirmation for your path. It's confirmation for the direction you're going in. The Wheel of Fortune is luck. We were talking about blessings as well, and the Wheel of Fortune can be definitely a fortunate turn of events happening for you. So, and with the Six of Wands, it would say through attention. So by getting more attention, you'll probably change your fortunes. The Wheel of Fortune is also about doubling down on the good stuff. If anything good happens at the end of the year here, I would duplicate that success as much as you possibly can. I talk about this a lot because it changed my life. Just like, I don't know, I just don't think anyone ever tells us that we can duplicate something that works. And so we don't, right? And so if something good happens, think about how you can make it happen again. With the the Hermit, too many H's in this reading. You have the Seven of Pentacles. Seven of Pentacles is the juice worth the squeeze? He is looking at what he has grown in his life so far, and he's just saying to himself, is it worth it for me to keep growing these pentacles, or is there something better that I could do with my time? And with the Hermit here, I think that you are looking at different parts of yourself, and you're saying, like, some of these things I'm going to keep about myself, and some of these things I'm going to reinvent and change, and some of these things I'm going to get rid of, right? And I think you're looking for new growth in your life in general. Again, this has been a big theme for you in 2025. And, now could be when everything is coming together, which is kind of how I feel for you, Virgo, that the end of the year and into the beginning of next year is when, like, everything you've been processing in 2025 is kind of mixing together and you're actually bringing it into this reality. So, there you go. I have nothing else. Next, we are going to look at what's been kept hidden at this time, and you have this Manifest card and this Heal card, probably your healing, and again, reinvention kind of goes into that. If you've been becoming stronger or changing yourself in some way, that could definitely have to do with healing, and you could, like I said, maybe it's been kept hidden up until this point, but now you're ready to, like, reveal something to the world through yourself. I also feel like your manifestations, it's like maybe your manifestations have been happening, but you just don't realize it. And like I said, I get this feeling of things adding up in your life where, it's like sometimes I think we don't realize that things are happening, and then we get to a point where all of a sudden everything happens all at once. And I kind of get that all at once feeling for you here, Virgo. I'm not saying, again, this has been years of work for you. So, I'm not saying this is like some sort of overnight miracle or something like that. Maybe it feels like a blessing like that, but, I definitely feel that you've been working towards these, these manifestations for a long time. You have the Knight of Wands, the Five of Cups, and the Ten of Cups. The Knight of Wands is about embracing mystery and kind of like going on the adventure. This is where I'm getting this kind of like adding up energy, because the Knight of Wands, he has to start a journey. He has to be willing to be spontaneous. He has to like follow just clues as he's going on his adventure, and then eventually he sees where he was going. It's like sometimes he doesn't, like, he can see an outcome, but how he gets there, he has no clue how he's going to get to the outcome. And this has probably been your life for a long time, Virgo, where it's kind of like maybe you have a vision, you have an idea of what you want out of life, but like how you've been getting there is not very clear. And it's like, everything is adding up all of a sudden to like where you want to be. And yeah, I don't know. That feels pretty powerful to me, Virgo. I think this is going to be, a good thing for you. You have the Five of Cups. I feel like there are a lot of regrets that some of you might be feeling, but again, you could be seeing that all these things that you have regretted, or if there are things that you feel like you missed out on in the past, you could finally be realizing that really you didn't miss out on anything. The Five of Cups, he's grieving the loss of something he no longer enjoys, but he has something much better behind him because it leads to this bridge and this castle. And so the Five of Cups is a card of gratitude. And I feel a lot of you actually could be feeling a lot of gratitude in the near future. You have the Ten of Cups next, which is great. And this gratitude could be coming from the things that didn't work in your life. And, it's like maybe it's finally being revealed. Even though this row is meant to represent what's been kept hidden, it's almost like this is being revealed. It's like you're finally understanding why certain things didn't work, or, why that relationship or that business idea didn't work. And now you're able to like move forward. Next, you have the Ten of Cups. Ten of Cups is like fortune after difficulty, happy home, happy family. It can also represent blessings. And so a lot of you could be, again, experiencing some blessings at this time. The Ten of Cups, those cups exist above those people's heads. And so it's right now, it's just kind of like a little bit of an illusion. And they have to bring that illusion down to earth. I kind of feel what you are seeing is the gaps. A lot, like I think that if you're a dreamer, which you probably have been very dreamy recently over the past maybe couple of years, that it's like you can have a dream and again, you know what you want, but there can be a big gap between where you are and like what you want. Or you can have ideas of things that you would love to do, but again, maybe those things require money, for example. And I don't know, I'm going somewhere with this message, so bear with me, Virgo, sorry. But like I kind of feel like it's like you're seeing how something is like much more possible or much easier than you thought, or how it's like you're seeing like something is becoming much more possible for you that was once only a dream. And I don't think that anything is like perfect yet, but I think you're getting there. Like the best example I can give you is like before the internet, this would have never been possible. There would be no way in hell that I would have 1 million people following me, basically, right? It like wasn't possible before the internet. And it's like that's the best way I can describe how I feel about the Ten of Cups for you, is it's like it feels like something is changing in the world that is making what you want to do with your life possible. And that could be anything. So I would pay attention. It's like maybe something that you haven't thought is possible actually is. With the Knight of Wands, you have the Two of Pentacles. Yeah, I feel like you're about to be in a very busy time. I don't feel anything on this card, if I'm being honest with you. I just feel it's just saying you're entering into a very busy period of time. And, Two of Pentacles is work hard, play hard. It wants us to make sure that we are, balancing energy in our life. It wants us to make sure we're not, like, burning out. With the Five of Cups, sure, we'll take both. You have the Four of Pentacles and the Knight of Swords. Sometimes I think Four of Pentacles and the Knight of Swords is like, there are things in life that should work a certain way. The Knight of Swords is history. He kind of represents the way things have always worked, but things are changing. So it's like, yeah, sure, maybe there have been some restrictions that have prevented you from, accomplishing your wildest dream. But it's like those things are dissolving. We literally have Neptune and Pisces, which dissolves illusions and old structures, literally, with Saturn in Pisces, dissolving old structure, right? So, sure, like maybe what you are realizing or need to realize is that, there used to be some things in your way, but those things have dissolved whether you realize it or not. It's almost like there are no limitations, or maybe a certain limitation or a certain rule has been removed. Again, another great example is like publishing, right? Like back in the day, if you wanted to publish a book, you had to get a publisher to agree that you could publish the book. Now we have Amazon. Anyone can publish a book, right? That's what I'm talking about here. I feel that something has been kept hidden from you. It is that the structure that used to exist, that used to be in your way, is no longer in the way. And you're all different, so it's going to be something different for all of you, but it's probably surrounding something you want. With the Ten of Cups, you have the Seven of Cups. Yes, you need to bring something down to earth. Seven of Cups and Ten of Cups, the cups exist above their heads on these cards. So both cards represent manifesting a dream on earth or manifesting your vision here on earth. And again, I think the blockage is gone, whether you realize it or not. Next, what do you know? We are going to look at what adventure is the universe sending you on right now. You cannot make this up. You have this card, it says Saturn structure on it. We were talking about structure that entire time. You have this Pallas Athena card, it says think on it. So I think the adventure that you are going on is dissolving some sort of structure that has maybe been in the way of what you want to accomplish for a long time. You have the Six of Swords, the Four of Swords, and the Wheel of Fortune. Yeah, the Six of Swords is about moving on to calmer shores, heading towards improvements. This woman and the child, they're going through these choppy waters. So I do feel this is just like general improvements in your life, and the universe is trying to get you improvements. I think the universe is showing you these like pictures in your head where you have these moments where you're like, what am I doing? Let me give you some examples here, Virgo. Like if you're working too hard, I feel like maybe for the most part you're okay with it, but then maybe you also have these moments where you're just like tired, or you're like, I can't do this forever. Whatever it is that you're working too hard on. And this could be anything, it could be anything else that the universe is showing you. And I don't think you necessarily have to like leave anything or quit anything. I think what it's saying is that it would be a good time to like go back to the drawing board and figure out how you can make something, more efficient or better, or how you can make something smoother, especially if you're doing too much work, or it's like trying to get you to delegate, or, do something like that. And that's definitely part of your adventure right now. I forgot to say, make sure to leave a comment. Let me know what you think of this style of reading as well down below. You have the Four of Swords. Four of Swords is resting, relaxing, recovering, and healing, and also, there is a certain lack of effort going on here on this card. It is almost like the universe is trying to get you to not struggle for something. It's almost like the universe is trying to get you to believe that you are good enough to receive something. I'll give you a great example. I've worked with a lot of businesses in my day, and I used to work with a lot of businesses where it's like I could tell that the reason they weren't selling their product is because they were trying too hard, right? Believe it or not. It's like sometimes I think if we over deliver on something like a service or a product or whatever, people think that it's too good to be true. Or they think like, why is this person doing so much for money? It must not be good, right? The Four of Swords, in kind of what I'm getting here, is that you need to believe that what you have to offer is good on its own. It's like sometimes I think if we try to sell something too much, that we actually hurt our chances. This includes a love, by the way. You have the Lovers and the King of Cups right next to it, right? Sometimes if we try too hard in a relationship, I think the person's like, why the hell is this person treating me so well? Not that you should be treating your person poorly either here, Virgo, but, it's like, it's about realizing your value, and that you don't have to, put in so much effort into everything. That doesn't mean you shouldn't put in a decent amount of effort. It just means that, if you are doing too much, that could be causing the problem. And, I kind of just, I don't know, it's popping, that's what's popping into my head, is like, you need to realize you're good enough as you are in whatever it is you're doing, whatever you're selling, right? We're all selling something, whether you like it or not, right? You're selling yourself, you're selling, hopefully not in the street corner, you're selling your products, you're selling whatever, and, hopefully you're not trying too hard. You have the Wheel of Fortune, definitely changing your fortunes at this time. Wheel of Fortune twice, 10 of Cups, which is fortune after difficulty. So definitely could be a little bit of fortune after difficulty or big improvement coming in for you as well. And I almost feel like, again, this row is meant to represent the adventure the universe is sending you on, which is doing nothing, right? It's not really that you're doing nothing. I think it's saying don't try too hard. With the Six of Swords, you have the Devil. Yeah, some of you could be releasing yourself from something toxic. Almost everyone has had the Devil. And this kind of started at the end of September, where everybody started getting the Devil. And so, I think we're kind of in a time where we are just being asked to remove anything that's toxic. With the Four of Swords, you have the Strength card. Strength can be patience. It can be taking your time and not rushing. And it can also be about your inner strength. So the Strength card, she is taming this lion, and the lion represents her inner voice or her inner critic or her inner demons, but she is the one that's in control. So I think you could be taking control of your inner voice here. With the Wheel of Fortune, you have the King of Wands. Yeah, King of Wands is about being bold, being assertive, really going for what you want. And it's also about kind of like innovating your life. The King of Wands he is a visionary. We don't necessarily look at him as intuitive, but he kind of is intuitive. He has very innovative ideas for his life in the future, and they are almost intuitive. So I would be trusting your intuition and your inner voice at this time. Next, we are going to look at what pattern do you need to release at this time. you have this path to knowledge card. It says you are journeying into the realm of knowledge to assist in your personal growth. You have this Capricorn card that says challenges. It says it will not always be an easy path, but if you build discipline, you will achieve your goal. Again, I think what you are releasing is the, doing too much, thinking that you have to do all these things to be a success, And it's almost like, it's kind of like a law of attraction thing as well, Virgo, where I think if we feel like we have to put in too much effort, then we're pushing something away. But if we get more into that attraction mode of just doing just enough, then we do attract something into our life. If we truly believe deep down inside that we deserve something, and I feel like that is the knowledge you could be gathering here. You have the Page of Wands, the Lovers, and the Queen of Swords. The Page of Wands is about going on an adventure and following your enthusiasm. And so I don't really feel this is a pattern that you're breaking. I think this is a pattern that you need to follow. If something makes you feel good, makes you feel optimistic, then you need to move towards it. I also think that some of you are about to it's like you're embracing mystery more. You have the Knight of Wands and the Page of Wands. They both kind of represent a mysterious journey where you don't know all the details. You're not sure how everything is going to go, and that's perfectly fine. You have the Lovers. I do think you are breaking a love pattern. Again, Virgo, this year, 2025, you definitely... Sorry, I threw this entire deck across the cards here. But again, I think love has changed for you, Virgo, for sure. I talked about this in May, somewhere around there, because I think Virgo has changed their love life for the better. And you are probably attracting people who aren't necessarily filling in some sort of gap. Before 2025, Virgos maybe were looking for love that could be a certain thing for them in their life. And it's kind of like a hard thing to describe, but it's like, if you didn't have your father or your mother, it's like you might have been looking for your father or mother in a person. That's not entirely accurate, but that's the best example I can give you. Now I feel like something has changed where you are just looking for a person. There is no, there is no attachment to it. There is no thing about it. And maybe you've healed that part of yourself, which is great. And, this could have you attracting a really solid person. You have the Queen of Swords. Again, I think a lot of people are embracing this right now. I think the pattern you're needing, or that you are breaking here, is the need for things to be clear before you make your move. The Queen of Swords is clarity, but in a row like this, she could represent wanting to know all the details before you get started on something. But again, we're in a time of mystery for a while, and I think a lot of people are breaking that need to know everything or needing things to be perfect before they get started. And I kind of feel you are one of those people that is basically breaking that pattern, which is probably a good thing. Let's see. With the Page of Wands, you have the Eight of Cups. Yeah, and the Eight of Cups is about settling. So you're probably breaking the pattern of settling for less than you deserve. He is walking away from these 8 cups because they no longer serve him, they don't provide him with anything, and he doesn't really know if he's going to find fulfillment or not. He's just choosing not to settle, and that is a good thing. With the Lovers, you have the Ace of Wands. Ace of Wands is out with the old, in with the new, so a lot of you could be working on starting something new at this time, or you're following your desires more. The Ace of Wands, this castle is crumbling in the background, and it kind of represents, again, starting something new. So I think a lot of you could be allowing something to, go away or dissolve in your life, and you're just ready to start that next chapter or to build your new kingdom here, Virgo. Let's see. With the Queen of Swords, you have the Four of Cups, which you have twice right here. So the Four of Cups, he is not accepting this cup that is in his life being offered to him because he's been disappointed 3 times before. It's kind of funny that I said that you no longer need things, you no longer need to know how something is going to turn out. And she has her hand out to this Four of Cups over here. So like I said, I kind of feel like that's confirmation for the message I gave you on those 2 cards, or on the Queen of Swords. Next, we're going to look at what ridiculous goal should you pursue at this time. You have this despair card. It says adversity, excessive stress, sadness, suffering, sleepless nights, failure, tortured with worry and fear. You have this family room. It says private family matters, comfortable, matters kept secret, inner soul, intimacy, private discussions, and retreat. So again, we're looking at what goal the universe wants you to accomplish at the end of the year here. The reason I picked this question for this last row is because we have Neptune and Pisces. And Neptune and Pisces is like the big impossible goal. It is, if there was ever a time where we should all be working towards something that seems impossible, it would be right now. Because we have Saturn and Neptune in Pisces. Yeah, you have this structure card. You have like 2 structures cards and discipline cards. Like now is the time. So I feel a lot of you are letting go of actually this, this anxiety on this despair card. And I also feel that some of you are being more open for some reason with this family room card. It's like you're sharing more, or maybe you're willing to be more vulnerable when it comes to accomplishing your goals. And that could be a good thing. You have the 6 of Cups, the King of Cups, and the 4 of Cups. The 6 of Cups could be some sort of childhood dream, and it really doesn't have to be from your childhood. It could just be a dream you've had for a couple of years, really, just something from the past. But if there's something that you wanted to accomplish, the 6 of Cups kind of says now is the time. And the other thing about the 6 of Cups is sometimes I feel the 6 of Cups can represent playing it too safe and handling something too carefully, being too afraid that something will break. But what I will say, Virgo, is we have Mercury going retrograde in November, all of November, basically the 9th till the 29th of November. And we should be breaking things during Mercury retrograde because we can learn by being messy during Mercury retrograde. And I know you don't like that, but really it's a good time to do it. But I also think that things will probably go better than you think. You have the King of Cups. The King of Cups can be about your home. And again, you have this family room card that says private family matters, matters kept secret, inner soul, private discussions, things like that. Your home could be very important to you at this time, or you could be recharging your batteries from home. I also think the King of Cups is encouraging you to explore the unknown. He has this boat behind him here. And the boat on the King of Cups literally represents doing things you've never done before, traveling into the unknown. So again, the whole entire reading is encouraging you to embrace the mystery. You have the 4 of Cups. Definitely could be some sort of offer coming in for you. He's being offered this 1 cup, and he's failed like 3 times before. So a lot of you could be getting another chance to accomplish a goal that you have not been able to achieve so far. And I would definitely give it another chance with this 4 of Cups. With the 6 of Cups, you have the 10 of Cups again. So a bunch of repeating cards here. The 10 of Cups, is, like I said, is like fortune after difficulty. Definitely could be something really good happening in your family life. Like this could be like having a child, finding a person to have children with, finding a person who wants to have a family. All those things are coming up in this reading. The 10 of Cups can also just be fortune after difficulty. So you could just be improving your life. With the King of Cups, you have the 8 of Swords. Yeah, 8 of Swords is about only seeing one way of doing things when there are many. So whatever, even if you have tried to accomplish a specific goal like 3 times at least before, this could say that you need to open up to all the other ways there are to accomplish something that you've been trying to accomplish. And that's what I would do with the 8 of Swords, is realize that there are many ways that you could accomplish something right now. You just have to open up to those different ways of accomplishing things, and you will be much more successful. With the 4 of Cups, you have the 9 of Wands. Yep, don't give up. The whole entire reading, it's almost like a second chance reading in some ways. Like this could be like a third or a fourth chance, really, with that 4 of Cups. So the 9 of Wands wants you to not give up. It wants you to try again. 9 of Wands is also my card of throwing stuff at the wall and seeing what sticks and trying as many different ways to accomplish a goal as you possibly can. So I would definitely do that. But this looks really good, Virgo. Make sure to leave a comment. Really helps me out. Let me know what you think about this style of reading here. But yeah, that's that. So thank you for being here, and definitely enjoy the rest of your year.